Hello everyone, welcome to VisualSnaps. Today we're talking about how you can film B-roll on a DSLR. The first thing that you need to think about when shooting your B-roll is frames per second. You can use 24 frames per second for a cinematic look, and you can use 60 or 120 frames per second for a smooth or slow motion look. The next thing you need to think about is shutter speed, and this is pretty easy. All you have to do is set your shutter speed to double your frame rate. If you're shooting in 24 frames per second, you would set your shutter speed to around 1/50th of a second. 60 frames per second is 1/20th of a second, and if you're shooting in 120 frames per second, you would set your shutter speed to somewhere around 1/240th of a second. Another setting that you'll need to think about is ISO, and this is another pretty easy setting to understand. You either need the native ISO of your camera, which you'll have to do some research on, or somewhere between 100 and 800. These ISOs keep the grain amount low, but also give you a lot of options when shooting in different lighting conditions. ISO is mainly used to control light, so you want to set your ISO to how bright your shot is. Another way to control light is to buy a neutral density filter, or ND filter. And what this does is it's basically a pair of sunglasses, or one sunglass for your camera. When you put the ND filter on, it blocks out some of the light. You can even get variable ND filters which allow you to really dial in how much light is coming into your sensor. The last setting to think about is Aperture, and this controls two things: the amount of blur in your image when focusing on something, and also the amount of light let into your camera. Choose your ISO based on the amount of blur that you want in your background. The smaller the number, the more blur you get when focusing on something, and also how bright your day is. You can use your lens to change the look of your B-roll. You can zoom all the way in with your lens if you have a variable zoom lens, and you can get this compressed look which looks very cinematic. Or you can zoom all the way out, and this will show you a sort of big picture look when shooting your B-roll. When zoomed all the way in with your camera lens, it's harder to keep the image stable. But I have a video already made all about how to get steady handheld shots, which can help keep your completely zoomed in image stable. I'll link it right here. When shooting your B-roll, moving shots can look very good, but you can also keep them static for a different look. Lighting is a huge part of B-roll, and I have a quick tip for you. On an overcast or cloudy day, the light is very soft, so a lot of things look better than they normally would in harsh light. So if it's a cloudy or overcast day, you can go outside and shoot B-roll of quite a few things, and they'll look extremely cinematic. You can also use small LED light panels, which are extremely easy to use and are extremely easy to carry around with you. And these can add more depth to your shots. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.